3.4.35. Buddha said, "Monks, there are these 3 Deva messengers." "What 3? In this connection, a certain one lives an immoral life in deed, word and thought. So doing, when body breaks up after death, he is reborn in the waste, the woeful plains, the downfall in hell. Then monks, the warders of hell, seize him by both arms and bring him before Yama, the Lord, saying, 'Sire, this man had no respect for mother and father, recluses and Brahmins. He showed no respect to the elders of his clan. Let your majesty inflict due punishment on him.' Then monks, Yama the Lord, examines him, closely questions him, and addresses him concerning the first Deva messenger, saying, 'Now, my good man, have you never seen the first Deva messenger manifest among men?' And he replies, 'I have not seen him, sire.' Then says King Yama to him, 'What? My good man, have you never seen any human being, a woman or a man, 80 or 90 or 100 years of age, broken down, bent inwards like the rafter of a roof, crooked, propped up with a cane, and trembling as he goes along, an ailing creature past his prime, with broken teeth, grey-haired or ballless or hairless, bald, with wrinkled brow, and limbs all blotched and spotted?' Then the man says, 'Sire, I have seen.' Then says Yama, Lord of Death, to him, 'My good man, did it never occur to you as a man of intelligence and fully grown? I too am subject to old age. I have not overpassed old age. Come, let me act nobly in deed, word and thought.' Then the other says, 'No, sire, I could not. I was negligent.' Then monks, Yama, Lord of Death, says to him, 'My good man, it was through negligence that you did not act nobly in deed, word and thought. Truthfully, they shall do unto you in accordance with your negligence. That evil action of yours was not done by mother, father, brother, sister, friends and comrades, not by kinsmen, devas, recluses and Brahmins. By yourself alone was it done. It is just you that will experience the fruit thereof.' Then monks, Yama, Lord of Death, having examined him, closely questioned and addressed him concerning the first Deva messenger, does likewise concerning the second Deva messenger, saying, 'My good man, have you never seen the second Deva messenger manifest among men?' And he replies, 'I have never seen him, sire.' Then says Yama, Lord of Death, to him, 'What? My good man, have you never seen among human beings, a woman or a man, sick, afflicted, suffering from a sore disease, lie wallowing in his own filth, there is excrement, by some lifted up, by others put to bed?' And he says, 'Sire, I have seen.' Then King Yama says, 'Then, my good man, did it never occur to you as a man of intelligence and fully grown, I too am subject to disease. I have not overpassed disease. Come, let me act nobly in deed, word and thought.' Time's up. No. Then says he, 'Sire, I could not. I was negligent.' Then says Yama, Lord of Death, to him, 'My good man, it was through negligence that you did not act nobly in deed, word and thought. Verily they shall do unto you according to your negligence. That evil action of yours was not done by mother, father, brother, sister, friends and comrades, etc. By yourself alone was it done. It is just you that will experience the fruit thereof.' Thereupon monks, Yama, Lord of Death, having examined him closely concerning the second Deva messenger, does likewise concerning the third Deva messenger, saying, 'My good man, have you never seen among human beings, a woman or a man, a corpse, 1, 2 or 3 days dead, swollen, black and blue and festering?' And he replies, 'Sire, I have seen.' And King Yama says, 'Then, my good man, did it never occur to you as a man of intelligence and fully grown, I too am subject to death. I have not overpassed death. Come, let me act nobly in deed, word and thought.' Then says he, 'Sire, I could not. I was negligent.' And Yama, Lord of Death, says to him, My good man, it was true negligence that you did not act nobly in deed, word, and thought. Verily they shall do unto you according to your negligence. That evil action of yours was not done by mother, father, etc., etc. By yourself alone was it done. It is just you that will experience the fruit thereof. Then monks, having examined him closely concerning the third Deva messenger, Yama, Lord of Death, is silent. Thereupon monks, the warders of hell, torture him with a fivefold pinion. They drive a hot iron pin through each hand and foot, and a fifth through the middle of his breast. Thereat he suffers grievous, violent, sharp, and bitter agonies. But he makes not an end until that evil deed of his has been worked out. Then the warders of hell lay him down and plane him down with adzes. Thereat he suffers bitter agonies, till that evil deed of his has been worked out. Next they place him with feet up and head down, and plane him with razors. Then they bind him to a chariot, and drive him up and down over a blazing ground, flaming and all aglow. Thereat he suffers bitter, grievous, violent, sharp, and bitter agonies. Then they push him up and down a huge burning mountain of red-hot coal, blazing, flaming, and all aglow, and he suffers again grievous, violent, sharp, and bitter agonies. But he makes not an end until that evil deed of his has been worked out. Then they take him, feet up and head down, and plunge him into a burning brazen cauldron, blazing, flaming, and all aglow. There he is cooked, and rises to the surface with the scum. So doing, once he comes up, and once he goes down, and once he goes across. Thereat he suffers agonies, grievous, violent, sharp, and bitter. Yet he makes not an end until that evil deed of his has been worked out. Thereupon monks, the warders of hell, toss him into the great hell. Now monks, this great hell is described thus. 4 square the great hell standeth, with 4 gates, divided and partitioned, with a wall of iron girt. Of iron is the roof, its floor of iron too, dazzling and hot, and flashing all around 100 leagues, stands fast forever immovable. Once upon a time monks, Yama, Lord of Death, thought thus to himself, True it is, I think, that they who in the world do evil deeds in diverse ways, thus suffer retribution. Oh, if only I could win birth as a human being. If only a Tathagata were born into the world, an Arahant who is a fully enlightened one. If only I might sit at the feet of that exalted one, and then that exalted one would teach me Dhamma, and then I might learn Dhamma from the exalted one. Now monks, I say this not hearing it from some recluse or Brahmins. Nay, but what I myself have known and seen and heard, that do I declare unto you. So this is also quite interesting sutta, where we talk about King Yama, Yen Lo Wang, Yam Lo Ong. It appears from the suttas that there are many hells. Hell is like a region, and each region of hell, each great hell, there is a king, and that king is called King Yama. So of the various hells, there are various King Yamas. And the King Yama is addressed as Deva by the hell beings, because he is in a much better condition than the other hell beings. So they call him Deva. So when they mention here the 3 Deva messengers, it might either be the 3 heavenly messengers or the 3 messengers from hell. And you can see from here the type of suffering that a person undergoes in hell. There are some other suttas which also mention something like this, but even worse, where they suffer from one hell. They suffer all kinds of tortures, and then they are like a fugitive, trying to run away, because when they are caught, they are tortured by these beings in hell. So they are running, trying to avoid these beings in hell, running. And once in a long while, the gates of that hell will open. Once in a long while. And when it opens, it only opens for a short time. And they rush out. And some of them manage to rush out. Some of them are unable to rush out. And after they rush out, they think that they've got out of hell. But what happens is that they've fallen into another hell, another different kind of hell. And they suffer again. Again like a fugitive, running, and being tortured and all that. And once in a blue moon, again the gates of that hell open, and some of them rush out again. And then they fall into another hell. Might be they fall into a hell now, which is like a river. And that river is like acid. They are burned in that river. And then they keep going from one hell to another. And then finally they come back to the hell where they started. So you see, they undergo both physical torture as well as mental torture. So you can imagine if any kind of, you can't find any worse suffering than to be in that hell. And the great hell here is described as being with an iron roof, an iron floor, and so hot, and you can't run out from that place. It's like an oven. And this King Yama, even he, the Buddha says, makes a wish that one day he can be reborn as a human being, so that he can hear the Dhamma, the Buddha's Dhamma, and so that he can get out of samsara. So now we are at this point where we are able to hear the Dhamma. Maybe previously, the Buddha said, most of us, or practically all of us, have been through samsara for an extremely long time, and most of the rebirths we have gone through. Maybe at one time we were King Yama also. Maybe at one time we also wished that one day we get birth as a human being and we might hear the Dhamma. So now we are at this stage where we are able to hear the Dhamma. We should not let the chance go off lightly. We should take the trouble to really understand the Dhamma and practice, so that we can get out of hell and never fall into these woeful plains again. Probably many times you have already fallen into the woeful plains. I think some of us, you can see that in our dreams, we have been to certain places like hell. So the fact that it can come up in our dreams, maybe it is from our memory in our past life. We have been in such places. 3.3 At Savatthi, sitting to one side, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, for one who has taken birth, is there anything other than to expect? Is there anything other than aging and death? And the Buddha said, for one who has taken birth, great king, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those affluent Katiyas, noble, those of the noble family, rich with great wealth and property, with abundant gold and silver, abundant treasures and commodities, abundant wealth and grain. Because they have taken birth, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those affluent Brahmins, affluent householders, rich with abundant wealth and grain, because they have taken birth, there is nothing other to expect than aging and death. Even in the case of those monks who are arahants, whose stains or asavas are destroyed, who have lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached their own goal, utterly destroyed the fetters of existence, and are completely liberated through final knowledge. Even for them, this body is subject to breaking up, subject to being laid down. The beautiful chariots of kings wear out. This body too undergoes decay. But the Dhamma of the good does not decay. So the good proclaim along with the good. It's the end of the sutta. So here the king is asking the Buddha, is there anyone who does not become old and die? The Buddha said, there's nobody, no being at all who does not age and die. So actually the cause of death is not, when people die, people say, oh, his cause of death was cancer. His cause of death was this sickness, his cause of death was that sickness. Actually his cause of death was birth. Because he was born, he must die. What is not born will not die. 3.25 At Savatthi, then in the middle of the day, King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One. The Blessed One said to him as he was sitting to one side, now where are you coming from, great king, in the middle of the day? Just now, Venerable Sir, I have been engaged in those affairs of kingship typical for head-anointed Khattiya kings who are intoxicated with the intoxication of sovereignty, who are obsessed by greed for sensual pleasures, who have attained stable control in their country, and who rule having conquered a great sphere of territory on earth. What do you think, great king? Here a man would come to you from the east, one who is trustworthy and reliable. Having approached, he would tell you, "For sure, great king, you should know this. I am coming from the east, and there I saw a great mountain, high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings. Do whatever you think should be done, great king." Then a second man would come to you from the west, and similarly a third man from the north, and a fourth man from the south, one who is trustworthy and reliable. Having approached, he would tell you, "For sure, great king, you should know this. I am coming from the south, and there I saw a great mountain, high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings. Do whatever you think should be done, great king." If, great king, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so difficult to obtain, what should be done? So here, the Buddha, when he talked to this king, he found that this king was so intoxicated with being a king. He said, "We kings, we enjoy life. We are greedy for sensual pleasures because we have a stable control of the whole country." So the Buddha saw that he was too complacent. So the Buddha brought up a simile. The Buddha said, "Suppose 4 men from the 4 directions, north, south, east, west, came running to you and told you this high mountain is coming and crushing everyone in its path. So when it comes to you, you will also be crushed under the mountain. So you better do what you think is best." So the Buddha asked him, "In that case, what do you think should be done?" Then the king replied, "If, venerable sir, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so difficult to obtain, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds?" And the Buddha said, "I inform you, great king, I announce to you, great king, aging and death are rolling in on you. When aging and death are rolling in on you, great king, what should be done?" Then the king said, "As aging and death are rolling in on me, venerable sir, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? There are, venerable sir, elephant battles fought by head-anointed Khattiya kings, who are intoxicated with the intoxication of sovereignty, who are possessed by greed for sensual pleasures, who have attained stable control in their country, and who rule having conquered a great sphere of territory on earth. But there is no place for those elephant battles, no scope for them when aging and death are rolling in. There are, venerable sir, cavalry battles fought by head-anointed Khattiya kings. There are chariot battles, infantry battles, but there is no place for those infantry battles, no scope for them when aging and death are rolling in." I just stop here for a moment now. Here the king is saying, "I have a great army, I have great strong elephants and fast horses and soldiers and everything which I can use to fight battles. But when death, aging, sickness and death come crushing in, rolling in, you cannot use all these soldiers, all these elephants and all that to fight it. In this royal court, venerable sir, there are counsellors who, when the enemies arrive, are capable of dividing them by subterfuge. But there is no place for those battles of subterfuge, no scope for them when aging and death are rolling in." Let's stop here for a moment. Here he says he has counsellors. These counsellors or advisors to the kings are Brahmins. These Brahmins are well known for their mantras, what we call Chao, Jiu. And these mantras are very powerful. They can work miracles and sometimes can harm others. So he says, but when old age, sickness and death come rolling in, even these Brahmins he cannot use to help him. In this royal court, venerable sir, there exists abundant bullion and gold stored in vaults and depositories, and with such wealth we are capable of mollifying the enemies when they come. But there is no place for those battles of wealth, no scope for them when aging and death are rolling in. So here he says he has a lot of treasures, a lot of wealth. If enemies come, I can use the wealth to buy them. But in this case, when aging, sickness and death come rolling in, all that wealth is useless. As aging and death are rolling in on me, Venerable Sir, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? And the Buddha said, so it is, great king, so it is, great king. As aging and death are rolling in on you, what else should be done but to live by the Dhamma, to live righteously, and to do wholesome and meritorious deeds? This is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the Fortunate One, the teacher, further said, just as mountains of solid rock, massive, reaching to the sky, might draw together from all sides, crushing all in the four quarters, so aging and death come, rolling over living beings. Katyas, Brahmins, Vesas, Sudras, Chandalas and scavengers. They spare none along the way, but come crushing everything. There is no ground there for elephant troops, or chariot troops and infantry. One cannot defeat them by subterfuge, or buy them off by means of wealth. Therefore a person of wisdom here, out of regard for his own good, steadfast, should settle faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. When one conducts oneself by Dhamma, with body, speech and mind, they praise one here in the present life, and after death one rejoices in heaven. That's the end of the sutta. So here the Buddha is saying, every one of us will be crushed by aging, sickness and death. They are coming in from the four directions. So there's nothing for us to do except to live by the Dhamma and do good deeds, not to harm others. To learn the Dhamma, meditate, etc. Get as much merit as we can, so that when we close our eyes, we can carry along all this merit on our long journey in samsara. In fact, if you are smart, your journey in samsara will be very short.